With over 100 years worth of movies out there, it's not always easy to know where to start, right? You might be a new movie lover who feels a bit lost, but we can help. Here are 4 of our top picks for the ultimate classic films you need to see if you want to become a film buff. The movie we've saved for the end of this list may surprise you, but it's our personal favorite, and you definitely don't want to miss it. But first, 2001: A Space Odyssey. Today, we think of Stanley Kubrick's 2001: A Space Odyssey as the peak of cinema. That's probably because it came top of the prestigious Sight and Sound Director's 100 Greatest Films of All Time list. But real film buffs know it wasn't always like that. In fact, when it was released in 1968, audiences and critics hated 2001. It was a total flop, but that's probably because it was just so ahead of its time. It made a huge comeback over the last few decades, once audiences were ready for its pioneering special effects, complex psychology, wild sound design, and experimental narrative structure. Our opinion is that it really is one of the greatest of all time. But be warned, it's surprisingly terrifying. Of course, you can't be a real film buff without watching a few foreign language films, so we've made sure to put one on this list. But what is it? In the Mood for Love. If there are any new film buffs listening who don't know Wong Kar-wai just yet, we're very excited to introduce you to one of the greatest directors who ever lived. He's known for his intimate storytelling and rich visual style, and you could decide to watch any of these films to see what he's about. But we've picked In the Mood for Love, a movie widely regarded as a masterpiece. It was actually released in 2000, but its visual style feels like it's from another time, 1960s Hong Kong to be precise. It's a love story to that place and time, while also telling the story of a romance between 2 people who find a deep connection where they shouldn't. It's as beautiful and warm as it is heartbreaking, and you'll see straight away that there's nobody else that can make films like Wong Kar-wai does. If you're thinking a film made in 2000 is too new to be classic, we'll take you back in time for our next choice. Citizen Kane. There's no doubt you've heard of Citizen Kane if you're getting into movies. But some movies ride on their fame and are pretty disappointing when you finally watch them. You won't feel that way when you watch Citizen Kane. This 1941 masterpiece from Orson Welles deserves every bit of praise it gets. Welles completely changed Hollywood with this hallmark film, creating new ways of using music, editing, cinematography, and narrative structure. It's widely considered one of the greatest films ever made, but don't let its prestige and black and white drama put you off. It's surprisingly watchable and capable of captivating audiences of all kinds, not just stuffy film critics. Not in the mood for a straight drama? The next film on our list will get your pulse racing. Goodfellas. Okay, we all know The Godfather is the crime film that new film buffs are told to watch.
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
And sure, there's reason for that. But personally, we don't think The Godfather is the greatest crime film ever made. There are loads of great options, but we've gone with Martin Scorsese's Goodfellas.
Hi, Mom, what do you think?
You look like a gangster.
This 1990 gangster film is an adaptation of the biography Wise Guys, and tells the real story of mobster Henry Hill. But as a film, it's much more than an ordinary biopic. It's one of the most stylish, captivating, brilliantly performed, edge-of-your-seat movies ever created, and it can stand up to the greatest classics of all time. Don't think all classics are dramas. Genre films are essential watches for new movie buffs too. You definitely can't miss this list of horror movies we gave 5 stars to. Don't forget to leave us a comment if you think we left something important off this list.
Dave, do you mind if I ask you a personal question?